go across Pembrokeshire. And on the way tonight, well, we will kick off with rugby and reviewing an exciting weekend of local action, with Neyland winning the Division 4A title in dramatic style and Narberth and Crymych picking up crucial victories in their battle to beat relegation. We'll also round up all the local and international football with plenty of talking points. And joining us live on the show tonight will be Daisy Griffiths from Haverfordwest Gymnastics Club. We're looking forward to finding out more about the great work they continue to do. And that is all to come. I'm Ben Stone, Fraser Watson and Tom Dyer in the studio as well this evening. Hi Fraser, how are you?
Not too bad, Ben. Saturday night down at the Cardiff City Stadium watching Wales-Kazakhstan. A patchy performance, but one which got the win. And then Sunday on a mind-numbingly boring cricket Wales safeguarding course. But unfortunately, these things have to be done to be qualified. So yes, a sporting weekend, although the Saturday was probably better than the Sunday, to be honest.
Good work. And Llanrhian Cricket Club is a safer place now, Fraser, for you having done that course.
Oh, so it's in extremely safe hands. Yeah.
Well done, you. And we will talk international football, as I said, in the third part of the show, because Fraser was in Cardiff. And another win for Craig Bellamy. Maybe a sign of the improvement Wales have made under him, though, that actually a few question marks over how Wales played on Saturday, but got the job done. So we'll save that for the third part of the show. And if you were in Cardiff, we'd like to hear from you as well. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Very well, thank you. A nice evening of listening to lots of sports on the radio. I've been in the car a lot over the weekend, but still enjoying nonetheless.
Excellent stuff. And were you at the Oggy Bridge Meadow Friday night as well, I think?
Stuart and Dowsey were there, but I was keeping a close eye on the socials, and a frustrating evening for the Bluebirds. So just trying to hopefully they'll hold on to that third place for definite now.
Yeah, and we'll do our best not to talk about you and Toby at the spa on Friday as well, Tom. Have anyone seen the pictures of that on social media? Goodness me. You look like you had a good time.
Zen. Yeah, I'm feeling very zen and calm.
Good stuff. Well, listen, there is lots to get through this evening. Looking forward to talking to Daisy Griffiths as well, all about Haverfordwest Gymnastics Club in part 2 this evening. But actually, Fraser, we should start with local rugby, I think. And I had some great interviews actually in the first hour of the show. And one of the people we heard from was Steve Hamer from Neyland. And they picked up the Division 4A title, didn't they, at the weekend?
They did.
With a win against Crymych Development side right at the end.
Dramatic game, bonus point win to take the title. They went 20-0 up with a bonus point. No conversions, actually, before the half-time, I believe. And you thought the title was sealed. Crymych came back to lead 24-20. And it was actually Ben Williams who went over in injury time, fifth try, to seal the title for them. Oh, it's a big moment for them. Quite poignant, actually. If you look at the last Neyland side that won a league title, it was the old Division 5 West Day back in what I believe was the 2009-10 season. And poignant to say, obviously, I said Ben Williams there, who got the late try. I think Matthew Williams actually captained that side. You'd Steve Hamer, who actually played in that side, now coaching the team. And Steve Evans, his boys, who coached the last team, they're playing for Neyland as well. So a lot of actually the next generation from the team that did win the league have come through and played. And look, they deserved it. They've been the best team in the league. I saw them play down in St David during the year, and they've got a very good backline, some good players there. And Narberth Athletic did struggle once the good weather early in the season went. It looked like it would be a title race at one point, but in the end it's been quite comfortable, Neyland. I think as soon as it hit nearer Christmas time and harder pitches, the youngsters of Narberth struggled. So Neyland being the best side, they deserve it.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Well done, Neyland, and dramatic fashion. And you can hear the interview that Fraser did with Steve Hamer. That will be on the catch-up page if you listen back to the first hour of tonight's show. Promotion from Division 4 West A, Fraser. How difficult is the step up, do you think, from that division into Division 3 for next year?
It's an interesting question. It will be a step up, and there will be more travelling. And that is the thing now. Everyone talks about these more localised leagues, and you've got this more Division 4 Tom just talking about it now, which is now localised, and there is a lot less travelling. That'll change next year. They'll have Haverfordwest and Cardigan in that league. Other than that, they'll be on the road every other week. So they have to get used to that again, because that is a factor. But I think if they keep the squad together and they can maybe add a little more depth, then they'll be fine. Two big signings came back to the club this summer, Luke Dawes and Ollie Rotherow at outside half, who've been quite instrumental players. But my only concern would be over their depth. I think actually joked about it with Steve on the interview. I don't believe this team, and I'm going to upset a few people now, is as strong as that one which won the league 15 years ago. That was physically as imposing a side I'd ever seen at that level, and they did have more depth than this current squad. I know I joke about it with people like Mark Russell-James and Andrew Slark, but boys in their 40s who were still in the squad, coming out on the bench and filling in, and that's great that those boys are doing it, club stalwarts. But you want a bit more depth if you're going to go up a league, certainly with more younger boys coming through. But look, a lot of it will be down to commitment and staying together, and those sound like generic things, but they are a difference when you go into a higher league and start travelling and are playing difficult games every week. It will be a different kettle of fish, but they can stay up, yeah.
Yeah, and it is a test. You're right of the players' commitment, isn't it? Because some of those journeys, I kind of look at the teams they'll be facing in Division 3 West. Obviously, you said there'll be a local derby in there as well with Haverfordwest and Cardigan. But then you've got teams like Llandilo and Aberaeron and Amman United and Llangadog in that league. So it is a different kettle of fish, isn't it, when you step out of playing a bit more local, because it does mean that your away games on a Saturday take a bit more time out of players' day, and it tests family life and all that type of thing. But actually, it's a good challenge as well, isn't it? And it's one that Neyland will be excited for.
100%. It's a different dynamic. You're right. It is a different dynamic, and it's perhaps the one poor thing about that the plagues you about these localised leagues is once you get out of them, it's a totally different a different scenario, like I said. But yeah, they have to relish it. They've got a young side, Ben. We're not talking a team that's peaked or come to the end of the road now. They've got some very good players in there, boys like George Williams, the captain, I think Alex Codd, have got years ahead of them, very talented players, and they have had youngsters coming through, and they've benefited from having a youth team. And if you look at the struggles of Milford in a higher league this season, that's probably been a byproduct of not having had a strong youth team in the last couple of years. And a lot of Pembrokeshire rugby teams are finding that. It shows the importance of it, that even if you're struggling, if you've got a youth team and you've got a junior section, it will turn around for you eventually. And
yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, they should look forward to it. There's no reason why not to, but it will be difficult. Of course it will be.
How much will they be looking at Larne's example that they've set?
We should have used Larne as an example. Larne did stay together, maybe added a couple, and have gone up back to back, and also like what we've just said there, if you commit to it, that they've added to their coaching staff and that they did commit to it, and that shows the benefits of what you can. It's not just ability once you go up. A lot of it is into the squad strength you take away and what you put into it. But yeah, look at Larne by all means. They've gone up back to back, which suggests, that there isn't that big a gap in standard between the two divisions.
Yeah, and if you can hit the ground running and get that bit of momentum at the start of the season like Larne did, anything possible. And we will follow Neyland, no doubt about it, as they begin life in a new division next year, promoted to Division 3 after that exciting win over Crymych's second side at the weekend, their development side. And actually, different tests, I think, to come, Fraser, as well, just on a final point, because where they've been playing against some of the younger teams like the Crymych development side, like Narberth Athletic, present different challenges. You might come up against sides maybe with a bit more experience, a bit more nous, to test those younger players a little bit more, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Ironically, Narberth's second, looking like they're going to go with him, or certainly in contention to do that. But yeah, you're right. You will be on the road to places in the valleys and in West Wales, and there isn't, you won't have gimme games like they have done in Division 4 West. You look at teams struggling like Langham and Llanybother, and no disrespect to those sides, they're games which without being arrogant, the likes of Neyland would know they're going to win this season going into them, or certainly would be very disappointed if they didn't. You won't get that next year. You will have half tests every week, but then that improves you as squad and improves you as players. But yeah, you are right, it will be tougher sides. It probably will be more physicality as well, because of what you mentioned there. There's not so many second teams or younger sides in that league.
Okay, in the Premiership, and we heard from him as well, Liam Gadd, the Narberth coach, they had a must-win game, didn't they, against Bonamine at the weekend, and they did win it. They won 22-6, so well done to Narberth, because it has been difficult, and when you fall out of the habit of winning games, even against sides that are around you, you have to get them done, don't you? And they did that, Fraser, and it gives them a chance. Now, the only issue is, even though they are now level on points with Bonamine, is that Narberth have played a game more. So despite that win, it's not in their hands, but they did all they could do at the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, credit to them. It was a game they had to win. The only slight disappointment was they didn't get a bonus point, actually go above Bonamine. But Bonamine's resulted in against Pontypridd last weekend would have been a dagger to their heart, really, and it made this imperative. You would almost have said it would have been very difficult to have them come back from losing on Saturday. Yeah, and they played very well by all accounts. Rob Evans, prop, is his best game since appearing for Narberth this season, they say, and Powell as well, man of the match, back row, outstanding player. No, they stood up to be counted on Saturday, and they needed to. It's been coming. They've had narrow defeats lately. They've had games they should have won, and they'll be buoyed by this. But, straight down, I think, to Merthyr on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah.
You're going to the league leaders, and they have to pick up whatever they can now. If even in games they're not winning, they not need to be looking at bonus points. But they are at home to Newcastle Lemon. They've got that to come as well. So I'd expect them to win that game. But it's going to take 1 or 2 more wins at least.
It is.
But they've given themselves a chance. So fair play.
And because Bunnermine have got that extra game in hand as well, they probably will need someone else to do them a favour along the line as well. And Bunnermine play Cardiff Met at the weekend, so Narberth fans will be right behind the Cardiff students, won't they? Just hoping they slip up. But a good win against Bunnermine at the weekend, and you can hear Liam Gadd as well. Again, if you listen back to the first hour, always happy to come and talk to Pure West Radio, win or lose this season. And I think Fraser, we felt
he does always talk. I'm not sure he's always been happy about it, but he does always talk.
It must be just talking to Keight that makes him sound happy. Yeah. But it's not easy, is it? Because you do probably feel as a head coach when you're not winning games that you're saying the same thing every week to an extent as well. So I think we do have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, sure, of course we do.
Yeah. I don't think Keight annoys anyone anyway, so I think that's fine. No. The other good win, and again we had some coverage in the first hour of the show, some great interviews actually tonight on Pure West, but Crymych as well, because they've also found life challenging, haven't they, in the Championship, and we've followed Crymych quite closely on this show over the last few years. They're a great club, always, again, really nice people. They beat Gorsinan 31-26 at the weekend. That win moves them just a bit clear of the relegation zone, but Gorsinan have games in hand. But again, that's all they can do is win those matches, Fraser.
Well, like with Whiteley Narberth, it was crucial. It was must win, and like I said, I think there was actually a 4-point swing almost. I think they went into the game 4 or 5 clear of Gorsinan, who could have pulled level had they beaten them. So for Crymych to hold on is actually huge for them at this stage of the season, because that's been their undoing this season, is managing games, not getting over the line in games and losing games late on. So yeah, that's a huge boost to them, and like you said, because of the games in hand situation, they need that daylight as well. But they're in there fighting. They've gone up to the Championship West. It's a new league for them. They stayed up last year. They're on course to stay at this year. There's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of work to do. The coach Tommy Jones did say that in the first hour, but no, huge win for them as well. They stood up to be counted when they really needed to.
And I also wanted just to mention the title race in Division 1 as well, because there's only a point between Tenby in second and Aberystwyth, who are top. So one side will be heading up to join Crymych, let's hope, in the Championship. Tenby won 64-19 against Wellenvol. And when Tenby have gone big with their wins this season, Fraser, they have gone big, haven't they? They've had convincing victories. And that one you feel is going to go to the wire, isn't it, that title race?
Well, there's 1 point in it. Both got 2 games to go, haven't they? And Tenby, they have to go like that now. They have to go for bonus point wins. Before Saturday, nothing less than 15 points from 3 games would do, and nothing less from 10 points from the last 2 games will do. Aberystwyth are at home to Wellenvol, I believe, this weekend. I can't see any slip-ups there. If there is going to be one, it's going to have to come in their final game. Tenby can only do what they can do. They're playing St Clair's. That won't be easy. Those 2 arrivals for the title last season. There was, it was quite a rivalry as well. And I think St Clair's will relish making it tough for them, certainly. Tenby have just got to take 10 points and hope have a slip up somewhere, Ben, whether it be not getting a bonus point or losing. Unfortunately, I can't see it this weekend. We should go down to the final weekend, though, which means for a good race. But do you know who Tenby play on the final day, Fraser? I'm unsure.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's Wellenvol. They're going to again, so they're going to play quite a key role in deciding where the title goes.
I'd back Tenby to take 5 points from that. Certainly, it depends how difficult St Clair's make it for them this Saturday. But they have to go out for it. They have to go for tries.
And on the same day, Aberystwyth will make a long journey to Kidwelly as well.
If there is going to be a slip up, it'll be there, Ben. I believe that is a tough fixture.
And
Can-
then they
Go on,
meet
Tom.
each other in the final then as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Of the Pembrokeshire Cup.
Yeah, so they've got two battles coming, and it'll be a poor time for whoever if someone loses both of them. You wouldn't want to, but it could, they have got a final. You're right.
And I'm sure we'll talk to John Evans, the Tenby coach, on the show at some point, either after the season or before that knockout cup final. He's very calm and considered when he talks to us, Fraser. I'm sure he'll be a bit nervous. And do you think, with it being as close as it is, and Tenby had a brilliant first half of the season, if they do miss out, it will be frustrating, won't it? Because he'll be able to pinpoint exactly where some of those points were dropped, and they haven't been on many occasions, but it's been so close.
No, they just had a little stumble, didn't they, in December, and they were unbeaten for the first part of the season.
Yeah.
And early on, they weren't getting the bonus points, which Aberystwyth did. That could prove critical if they lose the league by 1 point. But yeah, he will be able to pinpoint that. But it's been a good campaign for them. Either way, they've been building under John for quite a while now. So either way, he'll take positives from it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, let's just finish part one and on the rugby as well by calling out a really great stat from the Wales Women's Six Nations at the weekend. They lost very narrowly by 3 points, didn't they, to Scotland? But we had 4 Pembrokeshire representatives on the field for Wales at the same time during the second half, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's a good, like you say, a good stat that, and quite a positive look on Pembrokeshire when that happens. Courtney, Keight came on with 10 minutes to go. Lleucu, George, Jasmine Joyce and Lisa Neumann were already on there. So 4 Pembrokeshire players in 15 is very good. They'll be disappointed with the defeat, mind Wales women. It's the Scotland game is sort of one they're going to win because it's not a championship they can win with England and France in there. So 3rd place is really the best they can hope for, and that'll be very difficult for them now. But no, they've all come up through Pembrokeshire Rugby. Unfortunately, they've had to move away. That's the nature of it. We probably no longer have a strong enough club scene at a women's level in Wales to have to be able to stay in the county and represent your country at international level. But they've all come through here and they've all done very well, so fair play to them.
Yeah, absolutely right. So beaten by 3 points by Scotland, and I think they play England at the weekend.
That won't be 3 points in that.
No, that will be a tough game, won't it?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But good luck to them as well. And we'll keep following the Wales women's side through the Six Nations with the Pembrokeshire contingent going well as well. Right, we will take a break, I think, and we'll come back for part 2. Daisy will be joining us from Haverfordwest Gymnastics Club, and still to come, we'll go through some of the local, national and international football as well from the weekend. In the final part of the show, we're on DAB Digital Radio, on social media as well. It's Pure West Sport for a Monday evening.
Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors.